So I'm saying something about standards, like, let's talk about physical exercise for a moment before I get to other things, before I immediately go into other areas. You got people stating, once you break a sweat, you've really done all the good you can really possibly do. You might as well quit. Other people say, push yourself to the absolute blankety-blank limits at every moment, really. Just push yourself, break a sweat, and keep going till you see spots. Just keep going. Do not stop until you see dots and lines and spots. Do not stop until that dog looks like it's coming right at you. What? Okay, ixnay. Do what's ever correct for you, which, by the way, correct for you means correct for you. It may be entirely incorrect for the other 9 billion to 10 billion individuals in this cartoon planet. It may be cartoonly incorrect for every other cartoon individual. Okay? Every other cartoon individual may say, I don't do it that way, I do it some other way. Well, that's really great until you realize you got people writing books saying, here's how I do it, this works for me, it's bound to work for everybody else. It's more the opposite, isn't it? It's the antithesis. It's more like, if it works for you, great. If it works for anybody else, it's a miracle. It's a defaultive quote miracle. Instead of what the authors say, well, it works for me, it's bound to work for everybody else. I mean, it's bound to. Like the binding on this book I'm about to publish, it's bound to work for everybody else. Okay, ixnay. It may, as in it might or might not work for anybody else if they do what's called metamorphoses. If they do what's called morphing and adapting the material to their own, get this, their own individual needs, wants, and preferences, okay? It is not going to work for anybody else in never likelihoods without that, without cartoonnessly quote that, unquote. So I started by saying moments ago, I said, you got people saying, with physical exercise as a single topic, once you break a sweat, you've done pretty much as much good as you can possibly do. Okay, ixnay. Unless that's exactly what you feel like doing at what moment? At this moment right now. If what you feel like doing at this moment right now is you want to break a sweat and then say, I'm kind of pooped. I'm going to go back inside, okay. All right, goodbye. And then they keep going because they're not needy people that have to be like tied at the hip. I'm going to talk about that too. So you got on the one hand, you got that. You got on the other hand, you got to push yourself to absolute limits. Completely push yourself until you can no longer move forward. You have to sit down. Push yourself to that limits and beyond every single time you work out. Okay, ixnay. Unless that's what you want to do at what moment? At this moment, right now. Because in between breaking a sweat and push yourself to the absolute limits and beyond the limits, there's a lot of intermediateness areas in there. Cartoonnessly. There's an entire smorgasbord, a cartoon smorgasbord of cartoon options. In cartoonnessly there. Okay, I was talking about the cartoon ball and cartoon chain moments before I started recording this video. We have cartoon balls, cartoonly tied, cartoonly with cartoon chains. They're called your cartoon esposo. But your cartoon esposo is supposed to cartoonnessly love you at every moment and behave how? Lovingly at every moment. No, if they were cartoonly perfect. They would cartoonly behave cartoonly lovingly at every moment, no? They would cartoonly behave lovingly at every moment if they were cartoonly perfected, no? If they're cartoonly perfect, oh sure, then sure they would. Oh, that guy's got a great muffler in that thing. Cartoon muffler, I meant to say. And then, in that cartoon vehicle. He's got a great cartoon muffler in that cartoon vehicle, oh no? And then, so on the ends of the spectrums, you have people, and it's just, You just have to go, ixnay. I do whatever's correct for me in this moment, not that moment, not that other moment, not that a moment a Kellen Tone says. I do what's correct for me at this moment now. What's correct for me at this moment now, when tomorrow is tomorrow, it's 24 hours and 0 seconds from now, will be an alternate state of realities. I may, as in I might or may not, select something completely different, completely alternate than what I'm doing now. Poor hemp. Cartoonly poor, cartoonly hemp. I may select a cartoonist, alternate cartoon, optional cartoon choice. But see, what's so great is we don't get to relive this moment. We don't get to existentially go. Tomorrow I'll go, well, I would have done it differently yesterday. I'm gonna, but don't, well, maybe, but just live in just be in the moment. What's done is done, cartoonishly done. What is cartoonishly done is cartoonishly done. Está completado cartoonishly. You can opt for an alternate flavor. In some cases of cartoonist non-flavors, mañana, cartoonishly mañana. And when you've decided that doing it your way results in no results that you wanted, you can do it a different way tomorrow too. Mañana, cartoonishly mañana. When you say that, well, this really didn't work out the way I had intended. I haven't dropped any weight since last week. I mean, yesterday. Okay, don't work out to drop weight. I wouldn't do it for that reason. I really wouldn't. I once had someone tell me, you know, working out really doesn't help people lose weight that much. In fact, it's much better to watch nutritional intake. Adhere to some dietary standards and stuff. Okay. Yes, maybe, perhaps, but that's really not the reason to work out anyway. You should do it because it feels great. I really think we should be doing things because it feels great. It feels great to work out. It feels great. Anything beyond that is cartoon. It's cartoon magic beyond that. If anything else happens to actually result in new clothing purchases because now our belt size is not, or our pant size is not exactly what we need anymore. Well, that's the magic. You get to spend money, but it feels great to spend money when you've lost inches from the waist. Measured in centimeters, inches, or whatever measurements apply in your country of origin, madam. I mean, sir. Because we know that everything is cartoonishly. Well, I know that. I said NASA needs to do some examinations on Earth's gravitational pull and how it differs from the way it was pulling 40 years ago, 30 years ago, and even 20 years ago. It might have been pulling a little bit distinctly distinct from now. The cartoon nurse cartoonly smiled and cartoonly said, "Yeah, that's a good point." I think she said, I don't know, maybe I don't know. I was going like this. I didn't hear exactly what the cartoon nurse cartoonly spoke, but cartoonly stated. But you know, it's all good. So. Where's the Domino's pizza driver when you need one? See, that's Papa John's, cartoonishly. I can never find it. Like, I always want to like flag them down and go, hey, can you come to my home? Can you deliver me pizza, please? Do you have like a full oven in the back of your car? Just kidding. Just kidding. No, I know that's not how even cartoonistic what works. I used to do that for a cartoon paycheck series of paychecks. A cartoon series of cartoon paychecks. It was fun. It was cartoonly fun. You know, the thing is, we should be having fun, you know? I think that's really the message. And do what's correct for you, not for anybody else. Because it turns out what's correct for you, what's right for you, what's fun for you, what's enjoyable for you at this moment may not even be the same as tomorrow at this moment, in 24 hours from now. And 0 seconds from now, right now. It may be a completely alternate decisional choice that you would make tomorrow, but tomorrow's not tomorrow yet until it's today. Today is only tomorrow if we were living in yesterday. We don't want to live in yesterday. We don't want to live in yesteryear, especially yesteryears, cartoonnessly. Suddenly finding yourself watching an episode of Who's the Boss or Mr. Belvedere from 1984 is not necessarily a mistake, but we don't want to live in yesterday. We don't want to exist in yesteryear. We want to exist in the now. Here and nowness of here and nownesses, okay? No, we want to watch the Cartoon Back, Cartoonly 2, Cartoonly The, Cartoon Future, the cartooned miniseries, and imagine that that's what's happening now. Because it's more cartoonishly exciting. Wait, what? How do these topics always go like a cartoon vortex of cartoon nebulousnesses? How does that always cartoonly happen? Cartoonishly. Cartoonly quote happen end quote. All right, I'm gonna end with this. How does that always happen? Remember that what actually works for you individually, if it works for any of the other 9 billion to 10 billion individuals at this moment, I don't know how many there are. Does anybody know for sure? They may be miscounting themselves. I don't know, a census has taken take the numbers every so often. The thing is, it's extremely unlikely to work for anybody else to the same level of effectiveness cartoonishly, even if it does work cartoonishly for you, cartoonishly you. It's extremely unlikely to work that well for anybody else, assuming it even works that great for you. And if it does cartoonishly work, cartoonishly for cartoonist you, anyone viewing this, which I may not post this, but it's a cartoon defaultive quote miracle. And I'm going to end with something weird. If acknowledgments means facing the cartoonist music that says blank is in existence, so you're going to call the proper bevel. Blank is in existence, so you're going to call the proper bevel. Blank is in existence, so you're going to call the proper bevel. If Disney Channel is your only source of entertainment, you may not have the testicle hair summoned up for this topic. Let's just say you have to adjust. You have to acquire the testicle hair to face down the cartoon blank. So you're Lehman. Have a good night. Have a good afternoon. Buenas tardes. Buenas tardes.